The first time Lori heard that Bobby was going to move, she screeched so loud that Luna thought she'd make a good lead singer for some type of band. Thankfully, she managed to simmer down after fully understanding the situation. Not only had it helped her mood, Lincoln was too depressed about the news received by Ronnie Ann, but unlike Lori, he had managed to have a weird feeling that had come to given the state of their house in each visit. In one particular visit when he and Ronnie Ann were partners in an egg baby project, the two things he had learned from the project: Ronaldo could be very nurturing towards babies, even if they're fakes. Also, he just really hoped he could raise a baby in even a better setting than the deplorable house that she currently lived in. Not only that he was saying, he was thinking of the future, mind you. He blames that project for putting it into his head, and if his sisters found out, he would never hear the end of it. So I guess this is it, huh? Lincoln spoke uneasily as he and Ronnie Ann watched a couple movers struggling to get the couch through the door. Yeah, at least for now. I mean, it's only for a few hours of driving, right? The tomboy said in a hopeful tone. True, I'd have to bum Lori for a ride every time. However, it wouldn't be such a problem since I know she'll miss her boo-boo bear. Lincoln chuckled as he glanced at Lori crying into Bobby's arms. A cracking sound can be heard as the movers finally managed to get the couch right through the door, while stripping off some wood of the door frame. So what do you think the city will be like? The white-haired boy asked. Ronaldo rolled her shoulders. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I remember how Dad used to complain about driving into downtown. The boy paused at the mention. And just an FYI, we'll be living in the same building as my other family, which includes she counted, 13. Lincoln snorted a little. Oh, trust me, I know what that's like. If you need any advice, you can always call the man with the plan. He pointed at his chest with a jovial attitude. Really? 'Cause I just call you my boyfriend. Ronaldo poked him lightly in the chest, making Lincoln laugh short. Anyways, how's Lynn doing? Last I heard, she's still talking to herself? Lincoln then nodded as his smiling faded a bit. Her leg's doing better now, so she doesn't need the chair anymore, but still goes to physical therapy. As far as her issues, she's been talking to Clyde often about it, although I don't know if they're making any progress. She seems to be handling it better these days. Ronnie Ann nodded. Now often how she talks with Clyde, a smirk began to form. I'd say they might as well be dating. Lincoln threw a fit of giggles at the notion. Clyde and Lynn? I know him falling for someone other than Lori would be better, but I'm not even sure if he's Lynn's type. I thought Meg hang out there with Penelope after that egg project, but I haven't seen them talking much. Then again, Lynn isn't exactly the same as she used to. The boy rolled his shoulders before placing his hands in his pockets. Who knows? Yeah, maybe. Ronnie Ann glanced over at the moving truck, seeing their mother had just finished working things out with the so-called professionals. Upon seeing that gesturing to their car, her heart sank a little. I guess I'll smell you later then? Lincoln nodded, keeping up with a smile no matter how painful his chest was feeling. Then not if I can smell you first, he half grinned. Ronaldo then gave a light chuckle before pulling him into an embrace, the louds returning it with much energy. See you later, Linky Poo, she teased. Catch you later, Nene, Lincoln teased back. A minute later, the two Loud siblings watched Santiago's disappear from the corner with the moving truck on tow. Once they were out of sight, Lincoln let a smile fade completely, feeling as if his large piece of his wholeness heart was left with them. You're gonna be okay, Linky Poo? Lori asked, a faint smile drawn up on her face. Yeah, maybe playing muscle fish will. Lincoln widened his eyes upon checking the back deck for sentence. Did you hear her say that? Oh, and I didn't get flustered. It's just that it's so cute when you both came up with nicknames. The blonde clasped her hands together as she squealed in delight. Pretty soon you guys will be like me and Bobby. Lincoln felt more blood rush to his cheeks as his sister started to ramble on what kind of double dates they could do. I just hope we don't, he muttered to himself as he frowned on the ground. There was just no way he and Ronnie Ann would be a gaga for each other like the other two. Just don't tell her sisters about it, please, he begged. Upon realizing backup, Lori was inside Vanzilla. Lori? Seeing her phone was set into panic system. Lori! I'll relax. I won't tell them if you don't want me to. The teen spoke as she watched her brother climb into the front seat. But it was worth seeing you acting much embarrassed like that. Oh, trust me, May Lincoln. Lori shifted the car into gear before beginning the trip back to their house. I'll miss Roberto as much as you miss Ronalda, but we always figured something out before they left. Since his uncles teach us at that university, Bobby will likely go there since we graduated. I'm going to do some researches as soon as we get home. Wait, does that mean you'll be gone after Christmas? Lincoln asked, a bit of worry and seeping in his tone. Don't worry about it. I'll still have to figure out what kind of major I want to do. Along with a bunch of other stuff, I could literally get some time to sort out. Lori gave her brother a reassured smile. So I'm not going anywhere for a while. Lincoln nodded in understanding, feeling content to spend the rest of his ride in silence. At least so. So are you and Ronalda, or Ronnie Ann, when you're going to get to your new home? I got tons of ideas. The middle child then slapped his hand to his forehead, with a loud groan escaping him. Lori! And that, my pretties, was What Is a Person Worth? A Loud House fanfiction written by none other than that engineer. My final thoughts on this story. Okay, so since this chapter was like 26 chapters long, and this story was like really long, some chapters I had to split into certain parts, and yeah, so that's why I'm saying, this story was like really long. So I'm gonna keep this story as short as I possibly can. What did I personally think of this story? Well, I personally thought it was a really good Loud House story involving No Such Luck. Now, we all know in all due reality that No Such Luck is just, a dog shit piece of crap story, episode, which it permanently left a stain on the franchise, which of course, I've seen some videos where people talk about No Such Luck and especially how god-awful that episode is. Oh god, don't even get me started on that episode. That episode just makes me really mad. But I thought this was a pretty good story. This story is honestly a really good sequel to No Such Luck. I know there's other fan fictions where people talk about, Lincoln getting, his bad luck, comeuppance, but in all due reality, what I actually found really shocking, and this is going to surprise you guys, but I've seen a couple Loud House fan fictions that involve Lincoln, getting, a violent revenge on them. I even remember there was a few fan fictions that involve Lincoln going on a killing spree over the No Such Luck bullcrap thing, which a lot of people do that. There's tons of fan fictions about this story, and this is kind of one of the main reasons why the characters went downhill, because we were starting to like the characters. But I did find this story out through a channel that did worst Loud House episodes video. It was by Jay Skellington. I watched his video and he did mention No Such Luck, and he did talk about that in a video, and he said the only positive thing that could come out of that episode is this fan fiction, which is the one I'm reading, and there is Loud House XL Tigre origin story, to which I've not read that one, but I'll maybe consider taking a look at it. I thought the concept was pretty good, but it's kind of messed up too. I could see this being a really good sequel to No Such Luck, but even if this were to be on TV, it would probably be PG-13 at most because of the violent, messed up nature and stuff, and even the subject matters. So, yeah, that's why I say it would be pretty much PG-13 at the most. Did I think this was a good story? Well, the grammar's really good. The sentence structuring was great. The storyline was awesome. I did spot maybe a few spelling errors in the story. So I did spot maybe just a few spelling errors, but the story was actually quite readable. I was able to read this without, any problem. I did stutter a bit because of some of the grammatical errors, but I didn't think it was that bad. This story was honestly a pretty good one. A really better fan fiction of No Such Luck better than, the other ones I've seen. Like I've seen some I remember I think I saw one Loud House No Such Luck fan fiction that involved Lincoln going on a massacre and killing his family. I mean, I don't know what is up with people with that, but I'm not the judge to judge people on how they write stories, but I don't get it why people would make fan fictions that involve Lincoln and getting like a violent revenge or something. But I mean, I don't know why there was so many fan fictions involving that. Anyways, what did I honestly like about this story? Well, the fact that, this family over time remembering, oh, they fucked up with the squirrel suit thing, and eventually they had to take some time so then they can get better, and I'm glad they apologized to Lincoln. That is one of the things I'm really glad for, is that they apologized to Lincoln, and Lincoln slowly began to forgive them. So that is one of the big positives I can say about this story. And the fact that this story honestly was pretty interesting, I personally really thought it was a good sequel. I mean, it's a better No Such Luck fanfiction than the other ones I have seen that a lot of people like to have Lincoln gain a violent revenge on them or something like that. I mean, that's more like a creepypasta than anything. But I personally really thought this was a good story. It's a great one. It's well made in detail. Now, there is, I think, a one thing I can definitely say that right now is that here's the one thing I can definitely say, and I'm going to be brutally honest about it. About this story. The only negative I have to say about it is there was a lot of filler. And I mean, not all the chapters had a lot of filler, but mainly the last two chapters had so much filler in it. So that's probably one of the negative things I can say is like there is at least two chapters that have a lot of filler in the story, but I thought it was a good one regardless. It wasn't terrible or anything, but it was definitely a good one. I mean, this story was definitely better than the No Such Luck episode. And yeah, I do remember ranting on that No Such Luck video about a few years back. And yeah, if you guys remember, I was pretty pissed. But this episode was pretty good. Now I have left the link in this story and description of all the parts, and I do have a playlist on my channel, so any of you guys who want to go watch the whole story on a playlist, you're more than welcome to do so. So, anyway, with that being said, and that being the case, like I'm going to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas. This is simply my own personal thoughts. I'm going to give this story a 9 out of 10. While it was a really good sequel to No Such Luck, I personally really enjoyed, the story, and the thing I can really appreciate is that it did not involve Lincoln going on a killing spree. It did not involve, any of that. It mainly also involves the family, admitting what they did was wrong, and they try to correct themselves and improve themselves. And Lincoln eventually, forgave them, which I really appreciate the fact that Lincoln eventually forgave them. So there's definitely that. And if this were to ever be a Loud House movie or even a Loud House episode, it would have to be PG-13 because of the subject matter and stuff like that. So, yeah. And anyways, I'm going to sit here and say right now, like I'm always going to say, this is just my own personal opinion. And if you disagree with me, that's fine too. So, if there's anything else about this story that I didn't get to, please let me know what it is in the comments below. And I'm going to wrap up this video now because I've been, monologuing for a while. What did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you guys want to go follow me on Twitter, Link to my Twitter account will be in the About page section, so you guys can go check that out. Also, if you want to support me on DeviantArt, link to my DeviantArt account will be in the About page section, so you guys can go and, give me a follow on there if you're interested. Also, if you want to subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, link to that will also be in the About page section, so that way you guys can follow up with, my upcoming art stuff, which I do post every now and then on there. So, yeah, like I said, if I'm missing something, let me know. And I want to say right now to that engineer, thank you so much for writing this story, that engineer. This story was flat out amazing. It's one of the best Loud House stories I've ever read by you so far, along with, Sajine's This story was just pretty good. But however, I do hope that Sajine's does continue. I know it should be, but I hope it gets updated very soon. And I'll continue reading more of that when it gets updated. So anyways, have a great day, everybody. Night, evening, morning, afternoon, or night, whatever your time zone is. And I'll be catching you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro because I'm out.